What's up, people? It's me, Jeremy, again. Headed over to the bus. It's a nice 42 degrees here in Florida. Finally, we get some cool weather, so get to break out the winter gear I've got here in the Suzuki. A bunch of furring strips and stuff like that. I'm going to work on our center console today, so yeah, follow us along here and we'll see how it goes. Can't wait to show you the progress. Peace. Okay, so I'm at the bus now. Open this back door. It's about 43, 44 degrees now. So nice. Excuse me. Yeah, today I'm going to be working on a little console. Let me show you what that's all about. Yeah, so this is what I've come up with so far. I'm using old ceiling panels, wall panels, and constructing this shell that by rights I want to get it all the way forward, right to the firewall, I guess you would call that, the dashboard. But it's going to be removable, and this metal is just a shell for it. Once I figure out, I still gotta get in here. I've slotted these, made some little cuts in here every 4 inches or so. May have to put some more to make that curve the way I want it to. But once I get this leveled, for the most part, as level as possible, I'm gonna laminate with the wood that I've been planing down. This is old fence boards, and if you look on the side there, that was the old condition of it. You know, lots of mildew and algae and growth there. But Grandpa Val gave me his awesome 35-year-old Craftsman, I believe, planer, and it still works like a charm, and I can get stuff down to about 1/8 of an inch using that. Of course, that's going to be too thin for what I need there, but I feel like this is good thickness. It's about I don't know, I'd say maybe 1/4 inch. So instead of going and buying paneling, I'm using all this old fencing wood, and I've bundled it all back together so it stays as straight as possible. There's little nail holes in there. A lot of that stuff can be filled, but the width of that up there is not that wide, so chances are I'll be able to use this. I've got some longer pieces too that I still have yet to plane down, but I did all this yesterday, created a huge pile of sawdust, gave it to the neighbor for their fire pile. I was going to save some for composting, but that's another story, so we'll just do that later on. Also, I've got these fencing boards. This is more fence that I got from Grandpa. He used it during Hurricane Irma as storm shutters. They were 8-foot long sections, if you stand that on end. 8 foot long. So we took the measurement from the floor up to the window, and it's about 32, 33 inches. So we were able to cut 3 panels, sections out of the fencing, and leave the 2x3s that are intact there, which is essentially what you slide down on top of this lip. I may probably just notch the wood out where it meets that lip so it'll fit nice and flush up there. Of course, I'll have to trim down underneath our windowsill or countertop, depending on the side of the bus that it's going to be on. But I've got 30 pieces of this now, and basically the framing on it is almost perfect. So what I'm going to do is measure all this out. This is going to come later once we insulate and you know, put our electrical and plumbing and stuff in the walls. But basically I'm already off to a head start with this. If you look down there, you can see that meets up with this rail, or this rib here, and that's the framing of the bus. If you look over on the sides, it's a little bit off. So what I'll do is I'll slice it down here on the center of that once this is in place, and get my measurements. It's consistent throughout the bus. I believe it's like 27 inches on center from rib to rib. So I'll slice off both of these ends and just put a new 2x3 right to the edge of it, and then have the next section butting up to that. So essentially we're going to have this look throughout. Now this is rough wood, and of course I'll need to sand the heck out of it, but it's a great cost saving and time saving solution to paneling up these walls, and I think it's going to tie in well with our design that we've got going here. If you've been following on Instagram, I posted a little video recently to try to get more subscribers and to show you basically explaining that our design is coming together based on upcycling. So as I'm getting more of this kind of material and prepping stuff, this is all plywood from the laminate countertops that I'll be creating, that I've already started to create. Oh, there's one of them there. So that's a tabletop. I'll need to slice it down to a better size, but that's finished wood there, nice and smooth. I can stain it, I can varnish it, I can polyurethane it and seal it in. And we're using end grain plywood for our tabletops, surfaces, countertop in the kitchen, and then little accents throughout. I'll be using that same kind of look. And then for the rest of the bus, wifey wanted some white in here, so make it look a little bit more clean and open, which I agree with. We're going to have a bamboo ceiling and cork on the floors, so it's going to be pretty wood colored in here for the most part in the beginning. But doing it this way, I'll be able to consistently keep that end grain look, you know, those lines, vertical lines as you're walking through the bus. So this paneling throughout, I may have to put a little backer in there or seal up those gaps, but we're going to spray foam insulate all this anyway, or have a company do it for us. So that's going to be a consistent look from the front of the bus all the way back to probably where the walls start for the bathroom and closets and stuff, and then in the bedroom, like the floor, I don't even really need to worry about that. I may just put down a layer of FRP or something to keep it clean. But the amount of flooring that we have is perfect for this main section of living, the cork flooring, and we've got enough bamboo to do the entire ceiling, going all the way to the edge. So yeah, today I'm going to be just dabbling and working on this little driver console. I want to be able to, you know, drill some holes in here and put some cup holders and stuff like that. You know, have maybe a clipboard attached so we can have our maps and navigation. Yeah, there's a mess here right now, but I'm going to remove all that. I'm going to try to shoot a little time lapse of the process of me struggling to get this correct. There's a little lip down there where it falls down into place. So I had to measure basically the height and then equalize it over here. It's about 2 inches different, 1 5/8 difference. I put these pieces of wood in here temporarily just to keep this in place so I can dry fit this. Of course, the subfloor is right there already. Our flooring is about 5/8 of an inch thickness, plus a vapor barrier, another 1/16 of an inch or so. And yeah, we'll work it out. So right now it comes up, it's a little bent and wonky right here, but that's just because it's not, you know, I riveted in the corner because this is basically leveled across the top. But you've got a nice little gap there. And the way I plan it, hopefully my plans will work accordingly. Let's see if I can get one of these pieces of wood out of here. Always some kind of aggravation. I tie pretty good knots, but I always leave a room for a little break there so you can get the knot out. Watch lots of bushcrafting videos and stuff to learn about tying knots. And almost there. See if I can get a piece out. Yeah, that's a tight knot, Jeremy. Oh, there we go. A little slip knot. Come on, I want to show the people on YouTube what I'm doing and you're being aggravation. Anyway, so this is pretty much finished sanded wood, planed wood, and then it leaves me enough of a gap to put it under there. So what I'll probably do is laminate it across this way, just for aesthetics as you're walking the bus, get those lines flowing. And once the shell is riveted together, I'll have to, drill all these holes out and make sure everything's nice and even. Obviously, stuff like that will get, butted up against that and pushed down to create a nice curve. That way I don't slice my leg off when I'm getting in the driver's seat. But I'm gonna pound all this metal down, get it all rounded out, kind of like I got the corner over here, and then put some furring strips, lightweight furring strips, which is these little, I guess, 1/2 inch by 1 inch furring strips. And I'll take this whole contraption outside, flip it over once it's riveted together nice and leveled, glue a couple of these furring strips around the edge of it and create a sort of a frame, maybe a cross brace across the middle of it, and that way I've got something to screw through to. So I'll probably drill that, pre-drill everything, and just adhere this wood nice and flush together, and it'll create a wood looking shell, and it'll still be lightweight enough with this lightweight material to be able to remove it and access the engine when we need to. So yeah, build a little driver's console. I'm going to clean this mess up, set this phone on my little tripod, and try to do a time lapse. Hopefully the battery won't die. And hope you like what we're doing here. I'm trying to be creative as possible on the cheap, and using upcycled materials. Our design's coming together organically instead of trying to pre-plan everything or go spend loads of money at IKEA or something. I'm trying to do this as free and cheap as possible, but still retain a really high quality finished look. So I can't wait until this bus is finished and I can look back at these videos and pat myself on the back, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of thinking to do and planning, but I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself making plans. Instead, I'm taking my time and upcycling old materials and using stuff that I ripped out of the bus, made a huge pile over there, and slowly using that stuff again to create this design. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Sorry for dragging this on for so long in the intro, but I wanted to show you what's going on, and yeah, let's get to work. Talk to you on the end of this. Peace. Yeah, so now that that's done, I've put rivets along this edge, because this is kind of the important edge. You can see there every few inches. And then I'm just dry fitting this wood to see how it's going to look, and I'm very pleased with that. I may turn it around vertically like this. Problem is that there's a lot of bad areas, and yeah, I've got enough wood. I could probably do it like that. I don't know. It's up in the air, but anyway, I'm going to move this whole shell over to these people were using their property. I'm going to move it over there to, they've got a nice flat carport so I can flip it upside down and get a good leveled surface so I can put in some furring strips and attach the wood to the top. And then I've got, where is it? Here we go. I've got some thin angle, it's just trim, and then I've got a little bit thicker. So I'll put that right on the edge there and mold it in, miter the corners, see how I can do with my carpentry skills. Hopefully my battery's not going to die. It's showing pretty low, but I'm going to try to continue on and show you the time lapse of how I construct this thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. So yeah, here's the next part of that. I've got my little circular saw, and I'm going to go ahead and try to use this subfloor adhesive. I mean, it does stick to metal and wood, and I think it'll work well to adhere some wood pieces to the underside of this, so I have something to screw to when I put my laminate on top. It's pretty wobbly right now on the sides, but it's going to be nice and stiff once I put that wood on top and a little bit of framing down the sides. Kind of limited to space, so I'll probably just end up gluing some paneling all the way around the edge of it, but I definitely want to have a solid top. So I got my little furring strips down here, little circular saw, got my tools on, using my dad's old tool belt. Rest in peace, Dad. Using your tools and making good use of them, and all those skills that you taught me over the years doing construction work. So yeah, check out the time lapse, and I hope you enjoy this and get some ideas of your own for your own conversions. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the end of this. Peace. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a whirl. I know you can do it with the jigsaw. I don't have all that set up yet. Let's try not to slice off my knee. This is probably the dullest blade in the whole batch. But I'm going with the grain, so it should work. Cutting this curved piece. Dig in. This is not a safe thing. Obviously my fingers are very close by this blade, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on it. But if you keep a good grip, you should be alright. Messing it up. I might have to do the jigsaw, but let's try. This blade would rock, that would be great. with sparks for this piece. See if we can get viral with this video. There we go. Not too shy. Viral meaning if I cut my damn leg off. That is a dull blade, but it does the trick. Cutting through solid wood there. So let's show you what I'm doing with it. Corner here. That will be near me, the driver, so it doesn't need to be perfect, and it isn't by any means. It's close. Did I grab the wrong piece? I don't think so. No. Okay. So, the way I'm going to measure this is from that corner to that corner, essentially. A little bit more. How the heck am I going to cut that? I know, I'll sand it. Yeah, so this is the cheaper of the Ryobi sanders out there, belt sanders. Do yourself a favor. Don't even bother getting Harbor Freight's little belt sander. I think it was like $30 something, $38. This was $50 at Home Depot. And Home Depot, no questions asked if you had a problem with it or need to return it. Yeah. Bye-bye. Alrighty. Piece of wood, pencil. Essentially. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sand all that. Quite a bit. Okay. Please hold. This is the ghetto way to saw something. Oh, Jeremy. Yeah, well, when you don't have a shop, you make do. Don't try this at home, kids. Don't try this at home, kids. Use what you can. Use what you got. Okay, that's not safe. Yeah. I'm sure I could get a lot of horrible feedback about this video of mine. But, you know, whatever works, as long as I don't cut my hand off, I'll be alright. Nice and smooth now. Like a glove. Yep. This will be right near my knees, so no worries there. I'll probably wrap this maybe in carpet. That's an idea. Huh. I think I just figured out what I'm going to do. Yeah, so organically, I've been putting together this bus in an organic way. And yeah, it's ghetto the way I'm doing it. Doesn't mean that it won't work. It just looks slanted right now because it's cut over there, and the way that it fits is actually like that. You know, 2 inches off the ground over here on this side. So it's pretty much leveled once it's in there. I'll show you that in a little while. So yeah, another time lapse. Hopefully I can get this little end piece on there and brace it up from the bottom. Just a little tiny piece of wood underneath to screw to, stiffen that up, and yeah, that's the console for now. So there's this groove here on this side. It goes all the way up to that dashboard. It looks like I got a little corner down there banging. When I made it where it fits like that. If you look down there, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, so there's this rubber right here. It's the seal that goes around the engine compartment. So I'll have to adjust and adjust and adjust and adjust to get that right, or figure out maybe something something that'll make this metal stiffer, but not so much thicker. Maybe just add a little strip to the bottom of it for guide support. Definitely some grime down in there I need to clean out. The subfloor is already in, so I pretty much got it leveled there. I can't build our finished floor up to this because then I won't be able to remove it as easily. So that's I believe it's 5/8 thickness. So this is going to be elevated by about that much, and I've got just enough room over there probably for the thickness of the floor. I really hope that this thing will slide out of here easily. I'm thinking I'll probably put carpet all the way around. Maybe just some nice high traffic, you know, some of that office carpet stuff. And that'll give it a nice look. And then maybe put some trim around the edges here. These screws didn't all sink all the way in, so a little bit more adjustment. They're just 1-inch coarse thread drywall or wood screws. So I'll be taking those out one at a time and resinking, probably like 1.5 inches, and that'll go all the way through and hopefully be able to sink those down. My bit was getting a little bit dull and warped and stuff on the screw gun. So, but all in all, I think that's a good start to a little console where I'll be able to put a circle cutter through there and put some drink holders, cup holders, and maybe I can mount whatever there. My I don't know, we'll have to see about the backup camera. GPS, the phone can go there. I think it's good and out of the way. Probably put GPS or the rear view up there. But yeah, thanks for joining me on this one. It's a little longer than normal, but you know, you just had to watch me struggle, I guess. That was fun. So thanks for joining me once again, and another cool little project out of the way, or at least started. So yeah, just getting creative here at the Utopians bus, trying to create my own version, whatever that means. Perfection is unattainable, but we can get pretty damn close and be proud of what we do in life. So yeah, put your best foot forward, and remember, always create your own utopia. Signing out for now, Jeremy. Peace.